Hello, everyone. We're getting close to the end of C1 period. In order to make sure everyone is learning the most important concepts in this course, I will conduct one-on-one interviews in the classroom. Next time we meet, everyone is going to wait for me outside the classroom, and you're going to stand in line, and I will give you 1 minute to showcase your skills when it comes to communication, constitutive view of communication. You're going to have to explain the Shannon-Weaver's model, what you learn about training. Let me explain exactly what I want from you. Our conversation, or this short interview, will be framed in the concept of this mind map. I call it the cheat sheets, las chuletas. This is what I'm going to be asking. This is the type of questions that you will be asked in the classroom, okay? The first thing I want from you is to be able to explain the caveman and the whale picture. I'm going to repeat this one more time so you get the message. There is a man who proposed a new meaning, a new interpretation of reality, a new idea, and he is showing these new meanings to his coworkers. Obviously, they're not engaged. They're not interested. So we have to pose the question, why aren't they engaged? Well, the problem is that the manager is approaching the situation from the informational communication perspective, in which basic information sharing is what it's done. You know, under informational communication, what you do is basic information sharing. This approach is inadequate for this situation. What is needed is social construction. He should have created a social reality. He should have set the stage in order to be able to persuade them. How do you set the stage? Using a combination of symbols. Remember, symbols are any possible way in which you can communicate. Body language, the tone of your voice, your posture, your attitude, right? Much more than oral or written communication. You should have learned this from Professor Kosman's lecture. Okay, so explain the picture of the caveman and the whale. Use terminology learned in this course to explain this video, to explain this picture. Then I'm going to ask you about this model. Everyone should know this is Shannon-Weaver's model. We should know that it is inadequate to explain what communication is because it falls short of explaining the complexities of human communication. This model was designed by engineers to explain how computers interact. So it's inadequate. And this man, I'm going to ask you who this man is. This is Professor Kosman from the University of Colorado. At this point, I want you to select one phrase from the lecture, like any of the phrases. He has many phrases on his video. So you pick one and you explain that phrase to me. For example, it's not so much what you say, but how you say it. That's one of the phrases from the video. Okay, so pick your phrase. I'm going to ask you what's your favorite phrase from Professor Kosman's lecture. Next, I'm going to ask you provide specific examples of a situation in which someone is using constitutive communication. So you could say, teacher, when negotiating, when persuading skeptical leaders, when showing the merits of your ideas, confronting wrongdoing, or introducing a new business model, you should know this list of 5 points. This is what constitutive communication is for. In practice, this is what's done. Then I'm going to ask you, what is training? Training is the consistent daily focused practice that you perform in order to build proficiency or to develop proficiency, okay? Consistent daily focused practice. Why should we be massive trainers? Because if you're not willing to dream, you can kiss your dreams goodbye. In order to create value, you need to learn skills first. That's why everyone should be training. In your specific case, you should be concerned about your English proficiency level. You should train nonstop every day, okay? How should we train? Okay, you need to explain what are isolated elements. You don't train 100 things at once. You only pick 1 or 2 skills. You design your own drills like we did in the classroom, and you run these drills on a consistent basis every day at all times. This is how you develop proficiency, by designing and running your own drills. The reason why you design your own drills is because deep in your mind, you know what your weaknesses are, so you can you can design your own drills so you can train yourself. Remember, nobody's going to care. Do not expect anyone to train you. You have to train yourself. What is your favorite phrase from the lecture? That could be one of the answers, one of the questions. Okay, pick one phrase like, everything is permissible, not everything is beneficial. That could be one phrase from the video. Another phrase could be, if you're not willing to train, you can kiss your dreams goodbye. Not training, no vision, no training. You pick the one you like the most. And then I'm going to ask you to run your drill. You design a drill, you have to tell me, what was the purpose of designing this drill? Is it practicing a grammatical structure? Is it learning business terminology? Is it phrasal verbs? What is the aim? What is the objective of this specific drill? You have to tell me. And then you run the drill in front of me. It has to be fluent. You must sound confident, and you should practice it 100 times before you run the drill in front of me. Okay? Well, it's my last phrase here. I want to remind you that basic information sharing is inadequate to succeed in business. You need to engage in social construction, which means you have to set the tone, set the stage, creatively using all the symbols you have available in order to negotiate, persuade skeptical team members, show the merits of your ideas, confront wrongdoing. This is what managers do. It's much more than basic information sharing. Okay, so prepare for the interview using my video and your notes. I'm not going to ask questions about the case study, but you should know whatever is on this video very well. Remember, you will be graded on an individual basis, and it's important that you are confident when communicating these ideas, okay, in front of others. Okay, so my message to you is train yourself so you do well on the interview, because the interview is going to determine what is the grade you will get for C1 period. All the other assignments I will take into account, but the most important assignment of this quarter, of this period, will be this one-on-one interview I will have with you. Okay, so see you soon. I'll see you on Friday.